Hi students, welcome back again. So, which chapter are we going to start? We are going to start a new topic in history, and that is going to be print, media and the modern world. Now, let us start without wasting topic or without giving any kind of introduction. So, what actually do you understand by the word print, media and the modern world? Of course, your answers would normally be sir print. So print means that you must be talking about the word newspapers. That is true. That comes in the print. Then it surely means magazines. That also is true. Then what about the brochures and the flyers? Of course, yes. Then what about the printed advertisements, the posters, the billboards? Those two. So the books, textbooks, or either the reading books, the comics, the novels, the literature, all of these actually constitute the word print. When I'm talking about the word media, media technically means the way medium. Now, why is medium required? Because communication is a two-way process. You just simply can't just sell books if there is no buyer, right? So you cannot continuously speak if you know that nobody is listening. Now, hopefully, let's just give you with a small example. As you know that all of the YouTubers, and of course I am not the one, I even don't come into the category of a YouTuber, but generally all the YouTubers actually keep on, asking you to subscribe to their channel and of course, watch the video till end and, press that bell icon and whatever. Now, of course, the reasons may be, different for different people. They might be earning money because, they might be becoming a YouTube affiliate or something. But I'm not concerned with that. The point is, why? Why are they so much, insisting you to actually subscribe to their channel? It's only because communication is a two-way medium. They also, get motivated when they feel or when they see that somebody is viewing their channel, that somebody is actually listening to them. Let's imagine this thing that I am making a video right now on this topic of, the word print media and the modern world. But let's imagine that nobody is actually listening to it. कोई भी नहीं सुन रहा है इस बात को. किसी ने वीडियो देखा ही नहीं. Nobody even commented anything on it. Nobody even liked the video. Do you really think that I would be able to, again make a video? Or do you think that I would continuously be making videos? No, not at all. And that's what actually this word communication does. So print, whether media, okay, the mass communication, all of this is a part of communication. Now, there's no proper date as in when exactly this particular part started, but in this chapter we are going to of course study as in when all of this particular process started and why did it start on the first case. So the starting traces of this print go back to 13th century. You're going to see right now when people used to make the wooden carvings, and those wooden carvings used to be dipped in the dyes, and those dyes used to be then imprinted and then आपके words या letters बन जाते थे. But let's talk about the starting of the chapter. कुछ key terms हैं, तो of course मैं summary के अंदर at the end आपको बता दूंगा. Make sure that you remember those terms. So where it all began from? So it all began from the word East Asia, which is actually the hub, so-called, of literacy. So East Asia, from East Asia, all of this print actually went to Europe. And then from Europe, remember it's not Europe, it's Europe. So from Europe, and then it came back to India. And actually it's not that, so that from Europe to India, India already had its own print set of media going way in the 16th and 15th century, way before this particular chapter was developed, but still. Earliest print technology started right from the eastern countries, which is China, Japan and the Korea. Okay, so China, Japan and Korea, remember, were the three main eastern countries or the eastern provinces जिन जगह पर earliest print technology start हुआ. Then what was the way? How did this print actually transformed? How did actually people used to start reading those books? These all books used to be hand printed, so it was a very time consuming task. Disadvantage number one, it was a very tedious task, very labor consuming. You require very skilled labor for this, and of course each and every volume used to be pretty expensive. Why? Because it was all handwritten, so it used to consume a lot of time and labor. So the books were all hand printed, but then how are the copies made? The copies used to be made by a technique which is known as calligraphy. Hopefully आप सब लोगों को मालूम होगा. Calligraphy is nothing else but is a technique of writing using those different sort and shapes of nibs जो ink pens के आते हैं. There was this Chinese book which was known as the accordion book. Now why it is known as the accordion book? Because this particular book was stitched from one side, because at that time it was very difficult to print on both sides of the paper. जैसे आजकल आप आपके वाले बुक्स देखते होंगे, उसमें पेज के इस तरफ में भी कुछ लिखा हुआ है और इस तरफ में भी कुछ लिखा हुआ है. But at that particular time the paper quality was not so good. The paper was so porous कि यदि आपने इस तरफ लिख दिया तो दूसरी तरफ में आप कुछ भी impress या impression नहीं डाल सकते हो. And that's the reason why they started stitching their books from one side with uttermost carefulness, and then the book was published. And this Chinese book which was being printed and stitched at one side, so that was binded from one side, was known as the accordion book. Important term, remember this, accordion book. ACCORDIAN, accordion book. As I told you that only the skilled craftsmen could duplicate. तो ध्यान रखना कि ये जो चीटिंग करने के लिए भी हमें स्किल्ड लोगों की ज़रूरत थी. Those who were good at the word impressions and art and writing and binding all these books, those were the skilled craftsmen. And they could duplicate using which technique? It was known as calligraphy. Calligraphy is a way of writing, okay? China, right from the starting, was dominating this particular market because China was the major producer of the paper as well as of the print, entire, different sorts of print. China was a major producer. Now, why was China major producer? Because उस particular time पर भी China के अंदर population काफ़ी ज़्यादा थी. And at that particular time, China का खुद का एक बहुत बड़ा government system था which is known as the bureaucratic system. So China के जो government system या जो bureaucratic system था, इस bureaucratic system के अंदर जो भी लोगों को कुछ काम करना है या उस पर select होना है कुछ काम करने के लिए, उनको भी civil service का exam देना पड़ता था. जैसे इंडिया के अंदर जो civil services के exam होते हैं, like the respected UPSC, okay, the Union Public Service Commission, and the MPSC exams, right? So ऐसे ही वहाँ पर भी civil services के exams देने के लिए इतनी सारी population को ये books की ज़रूरत पड़ती थी. So these particular books were printed in large numbers or in large volumes. Civil service examinations, so these textbooks were printed in large number for whom? For the examination aspirants or the examination candidates who would read these books and would get selected into these civil services. Gradually, the thing actually started changing. Why? Because as soon as, during this early 18th century and the in between 18th century, the reading not only became an activity, it became actually a leisure activity. Why? Because urban culture started actually flourishing. Urban culture means वो गांव का नहीं but शहरों वाला culture आने लगा. So people used to relax on Saturdays and Sundays, and रात में आने के बाद में they needed to read some book to get some decent sleep and all that, and that's the reason why it became a leisure activity. आराम से चल मार के बैठे हुए. So that is, reading became a leisure activity. And which all kind of books were being read by the people? That was the fictional narratives. Fictional narratives मतलब जो मनगढ़ंत कहानियाँ होती हैं कि एक था राजा, एक थी रानी, and so on and so forth. So fictional narratives, poetry, autobiography. You already know what do you mean by autobiography. The story of oneself, जो खुद भी कुछ लिखता है. Autobiography, romantic plays, all of these used to be written. And ये men तो पढ़ते ही थे, साथ में the wives, those also used to study it. And जो scholars की wives थी, scholars means ये जो पढ़े लिखे so called जनता थी, उनकी जो wives थी, धीरे धीरे उन लोगों ने भी अपने अपने daily experiences को एक book के form में publish करना चालू कर दिया. And gradually this print started developing. So wives of scholars published their work. So they were publishing their work in the form of their books. Western printing techniques. Now the problem is, जैसा मैंने अभी आपको बताया, the only disadvantage with the hand printing books is that hand printing books pretty slow to come by in the market, जहाँ पर demand बहुत ज़्यादा है, तो उसके लिए आपको fast books को copy करना पड़ेगा. बट लेबर की प्रॉब्लम एक ही होती है कि लेबर इंटेंसिव वर्क थोड़ा सा स्लोली होता है. सो इस प्रॉब्लम से बचने के लिए वेस्टर्न टेक्निक्स का यूज़ करना चालू कर दिया, जो भी आप अगले चैप्टर में भी पढ़ोगे, द गुटेनबर्ग प्रिंटिंग प्रेस और द गुटेनबर्ग डेवलप्ड द प्रिंटिंग प्रेस. सो ये जो प्रिंटिंग प्रेस वाला कॉन्सेप्ट था ये वेस्टर्न कॉन्सेप्ट था, राइट. इट केम फ्रॉम द वर्ड यूरोप एंड वहाँ से दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट percolated right through China, India and Japan. So Western printing techniques and mechanical presses were developed, okay, and these were imported. और इनको बाद में import करना चालू किया. क्यों? Because demand बहुत ज़्यादा थी and supply बहुत कम था, because hand printing काफ़ी slow होता है. And that all happened in the late 19th century. Then Shanghai became the hub of the new print, and catering to the Western powers. Now remember that every place जो डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली कभी ना कभी किसी ना किसी कॉलोनी के अंदर था और रूल था ना, उस जगह पर आपने कुछ हब्स देखे होंगे जो कुछ हब्स बन जाते हैं. से फॉर एग्जांपल शंघाई इन इंडिया, से फॉर एग्जांपल मुंबई, गुजरात. सो ऑल ऑफ दीज वर डेवलप्ड बाय ब्रिटिशर्स फॉर देयर ओन पर्पसेस. Shanghai became this printing hub because it used to print all of these books catering to the Western world, because यहाँ पर cheap labor होता था. So सारे के सारे लोगों ने books यहाँ पर print कराना चालू कर दिए, right in the world of Shanghai. Okay. Shanghai became the new hub or the new print culture catering to the Western powers. When I'm talking about Western powers, of course I'm talking about the Europe and the England and Germany and all of these and all of these. Now, today's work, what you need to write in the YouTube, because I don't know actually where is this, Beijing and where is this Shanghai. So what you need to just write is where is Beijing and where is Shanghai. Are they in China, India or Japan? I know a pretty foolish question, but just to make you, active. So Beijing and Shanghai, these two so-called places lie exactly in which country? Is it in India, China, Japan? चलो एक और ऑप्शन दिया आपको, ऑस्ट्रेलिया. ओके, दैट्स फाइन गाइस. एनीवे, to the Western powers. Now let's talk about the word print in Japan. Okay, now let's start with the topic of printing in Japan. So printing in Japan actually started with the Buddhist missionaries. Now these Buddhist missionaries, used to walk all across the globe carrying their messages of their entity. And Buddhist missionaries from China actually started this hand printing, and hand printing was being done in the year 768 and 770 AD, roughly along that period. AD means after death. Okay. Or oldest Japanese book, the oldest Japanese book, very important topic guys, the oldest Japanese book was named as Diamond Sutra, which was being written in 868 AD. Okay, how many sheets it consisted of? It consisted of only 6. I'm sorry, pardon me. It only consisted of around 6 sheets of text. Okay, now I'm sorry. So during the part of the mid 13th century, printing wood blocks of now during the part of the mid 13th century, जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि स्टार्टिंग में, अभी आप आगे भी देखोगे कि जब आप पढ़ोगे कि हिस्ट्री ऑफ प्रिंटिंग प्रेस कैसे डेवलप हुआ, स्टार्टिंग में they used to write on a parchment paper, on a membrane, on a paper. What they used to do was there used to be this wooden blocks, and these wooden blocks used to be dipped in a colored solution known as dye. और इस डाई के बाद में वो उसको parchment paper या फिर किसी भी वुडन के बाय द वे बार पे या किसी भी जगह पर इम्प्रेस करते थे, एंड उस जगह पर उसका पूरा का पूरा इम्प्रेशन आ जाता था, एंड देन दे यूज्ड टू रीड इट. So during the mid 13th century, printing wooden blocks, used to come. Now, there is this one famous, by the way, box which was being written in your textbook, which is important, and that is Tripitaka Koreana. Now, Tripitaka Koreana is a collection of 80,000 of these wood blocks, okay, and that's now being written in the UNESCO Memory of World Register in the year 2007. So I'm writing it over here. In the year 2007. Okay. So you can understand that we are talking about mid 13th century. तो ऐसा नहीं था that 17th and 18th century से studies and printing start हुआ, but तब तक major documents आना चालू हो गए थे. That's the reason why we are talking about that era. But printing तो उसके पहले से भी काफी थी चालू. Okay. Now, Edo was a very famous place. Once again, the next question. Edo was a very famous place which was being renamed as Tokyo. So once again, the same question, where exactly do you think it lies? Does it lie in China, Japan, India, or in South Africa? Africa? I think Africa. So Edo is known as Tokyo. Okay, so Edo was later on known as Tokyo, and you know what Tokyo is. If you know, then do comment please. Edo was known as Tokyo, and it was the 18th century when the books were printed, all being hand printed, which covered. And now these particular topics actually covered all the way from women to the tea ceremonies, to the flower arrangements, to etiquettes, to spirituality, Lord, God, and whatnot. Cooking. Okay. So all of these particular topics used to get covered in these books. Because see, हर एक का choice अलग अलग होता है, तो I am sure that everybody would love to read different books altogether. There's this very famous personality, important point, and her name was Kitagawa Utamaro. Okay, so might be my pronunciation is wrong because I'm not very thorough with this Chinese oblique Japanese oblique African oblique Indian, whatever this is. So now, Kitagawa Utamaro, and that was widely known for a contribution which was made for this particular art. Remember guys, whenever we are talking about the word art, art does not mean arts. Okay? Art means literature bhi hota hai, psychology bhi hota hai, and all of those particular things. Okay, that's a very good line. So this is all for today from the part of print media and the modern culture. Tomorrow we are going to also see that how this printing press developed, what was the history behind it, who developed it, was there any religious conflict which happened because of this? What happened? What was the kind of revolution which actually started? Did people actually started taking all these books seriously, or was that just for a leisure purpose? So we are going to all see this part in the next episode of the history. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy and chill, and remember, as usual, mom and dad guys, they don't demand anything. You need to offer them, and trust me, you will be blessed. Bless you guys. Chill. See ya. Bye.